Check, check, check. Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the stream. Tonight I'm going to be flying the third leg of my 6-leg flight. I'm calling it my Tracer Tour for Thanksgivingmas in South Carolina, and the big idea here is that I am tracing the route of a trip that I took recently to go visit my parents. And yeah, I'm just completing each flight in succession and trying to match that flight as closely as possible. So, on the first night, I flew from Champaign, Illinois, where I live, up to Bloomington, Illinois, which is the airport that I took off from. And following that, I did the flight from Bloomington, Illinois, down to Hartsfield-Jackson International in Atlanta, which is where I made a connection and made the final leg of my trip over to Augusta Regional Airport, which is where my father picked me up. So in reality I took a CRJ900, but I don't have that plane and it's like $40 and just doesn't really seem worth it, so instead I'm using the Citation CJ4. Based on my Google Maps timeline, I was able to pick the exact gate that I departed from that night, as well as the same runway and runway direction. And I also was able to pick a certain approach pattern which fairly closely matches the route that I actually flew that night. I kind of hooked around here and went up here. The only difference is that when I got over here, I actually stayed on this side of the airport and approached like that. I didn't fly over the airport. But in Flight Sim, there wasn't an approach. Actually, you know what? I didn't mess with my arrival. Let me just see what that change is. Yeah, it's definitely not that. That's just craziness, obviously. So, no, there's not really one that exactly matches, but this is pretty close. I think it's, close enough to get the idea. I am a little nervous because on my flight into Atlanta, it didn't set me up with the approach properly, and I think what happened is once I passed the airport, my PFD got messed up, or my flight plan, and it forgot where I was or something. So I'm kind of worried that with this route flying directly over the airport, I might have that same issue. On the other hand, there was a big update today, and it had a ton of improvements, including to the CJ4, and I didn't read them all that carefully, but I'm hoping maybe that was fixed. Regardless, in Augusta, I did actually land on runway 35, and so that is what I've set up here, and hopefully everything will go well and I'll be able to use a localizer approach. So that's all set up correctly. I picked scattered clouds. In the weather history it just says the weather was fair, so I don't remember. It was dark, I couldn't really tell. You'll notice the date I have set is December 2nd, which was the day on which I actually took the flight, and I had changed the time before I started my stream to the departure time, which was 5:55. So that looks all good, and before I fly, I'm going to go ahead and save this flight plan just in case something crashes. And yeah, that looks all good to go, so I will hit fly. Another thing I've been struggling with lately, or not struggling with, just something that I've been experiencing, is that in the CJ4, the fuel burn is not, it doesn't match what it shows on the world map. Yesterday after my flight, I had to refuel mid-air twice yesterday, going from Bloomington, Illinois to Atlanta, and I thought that was weird because the range of the plane on the world map was like basically the whole of the US. So after that flight last night, I just did a little research, and apparently there is actually a bug that was causing that. The fuel burn rate of the CJ4 was just too fast. However, in the update that came out today and that I just downloaded and installed, it says that they addressed that. So this flight is so short, you know, it's only like, I think it's 45 minutes. Probably will take me hour and 15. But regardless, it is so short that it's probably not a very good test of that fuel range, but I am going to keep an eye on it just to see if I can tell a difference. I did also see there's a community event or something like that, which is a snow landing at Charles de Gaulle, and I might try to do that real quick after my main flight here. I am starting the plane from a cold and dark state, so I'll have to run through that checklist as quickly as I can. I've done it so many times, I'm getting a little faster at it. And concourse D, I think, is A, B, C, D. I think it's this one right here. And here I am. So last night, this is interesting, it says max altitude is 45,000, but last night when I got around 42, I started to get a warning that said something like, you know, losing cabin pressure, put on oxygen masks or something like that. So I think that 45 is either wrong or the warning is going off at the wrong time. There's definitely something going on weird, or something weird going on there. Okay. Definitely seeing some lag there. Hopefully that won't be a big problem. Okay, so my parking brake is set. My idle powers are level, or my power levels are idle. Generators are on. Battery switch is on.
Pause system test. Okay.
Avionics are dispatch.
Atlanta clearance delivery Cessna November 75649er ISR to Augusta ready to copy.
Cessna November 75649er is cleared to Augusta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 27 right climb and maintain 14,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.65 squawk 6655.
Cessna November 75649er cleared to Augusta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 27 right climb and maintain 14,000 feet. Departure on 125.65 squawk 6655.
Cessna 649er read back correct. Contact ground on 131.25.
So I'm going to be heading toward 14,000. I want to get that into my autopilot as soon as my engines are up and running.
Ground Cessna November 75649er, requesting pushback. Cessna November 75649er, pushback request accepted.
Avionics are on. Let me get that 14,000 in before I forget about it. Okay, that's good. That's the terrain. Check out the weather. Just looks scattered. I think I'll just leave that on for now. They're about to push me back, so I'll disengage parking brake. And there I go. And I'll get some lights on. How about a beacon? Taxi, logo. I can never remember. I think nav needs to come on. I think that's your green and red. Definitely don't need strobe or landing yet. I think strobe is for when you're taking off or in the air. And landing is obviously for landing.
Ground Cessna November 75649er, requesting the end of pushback. Cessna November 75649er, request to end pushback received. Ground Cessna November 75649er, with Kilo ready to taxi IFR. Cessna November 75649er, taxi to and hold short of runway 27 right using taxiway. Contact tower on 119er decimal 51 ready. Taxiing hold short runway 27 right via taxiway Cessna 649er.
Oh, I just realized I forgot to, I wanted to try out my new livery tonight, but I forgot to apply it. It's alright, it's always next time. Part of this update was a livery pack that was just sounded like it was pretty much for free for anybody, and it was basically like a kind of a custom Microsoft flight sim pack. Everything was blue and white, kind of like the box art for this game. Looked nice enough. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's just something new to try, I guess. Okay, engine checklist is complete. Okay, there goes somebody there. Obviously the AI is managing the comms for us tonight. Go ahead and put it off screen so I can reference it when necessary. Bit of a hike down to the runway. It's interesting. The controller just said basically taxi to the runway using taxiway. They didn't tell me any of the numbers, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. Kinda seems like a glitch to me. And while we taxi, I want to check one thing real quick. Last night when I landed, there was no Loc 1 available in my flight plan. And tonight there isn't either. Why is that? I definitely picked an IFR flight plan. So there should be a Loc 1. There always has been before. I'm really not sure what's going on there. Well, looks like it'll be another manual approach tonight, unfortunately. Unless I can figure out how to enter the localizer frequency. But that probably takes some learning. One improvement that I did see was that the yaw damper button should work now. And it does indeed. Very cool. So the waypoint, seems like the waypoint is saying I'm headed toward runway 9 left, but the controller said I was going to 27 right, and my flight plan was headed to 27 right. So I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I'm definitely headed, I think that sign I can see, it says, so obviously 27 right and 9 left are one and the same, just opposite ends of the same runway. So I'm not sure, I think this waypoint is wrong. It's at the wrong end of the runway. Okay, I'm holding short. So it seems like the AI is not going to recognize that I'm at the threshold, so I will tune to the tower manually and go ahead and
Atlanta
request
Tower
takeoff
Cessna
clearance.
November 75, 649er ready to go runway 27 right ISR to Augusta. Cessna November 75, 649er cleared for takeoff runway 27 right. Cleared for takeoff runway 27 right, Cessna November 75, 649er.
Okay, we have 1 notch of flaps. V2 is 140. And we are cleared for takeoff. Whoops, where did that guy come from? I'll let him go ahead, I think. If I could honk, I would. There's no name tag above them, as though maybe that's not even a real player? I'm not sure what's going on there. Another improvement I saw they made is that the seatbelt sign, oh, it doesn't work. I thought it said the seatbelt signs worked now. I'm not sure what pulse lights are, but may as well have it on. Alright, my patience is running out with this guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. And you will have to excuse the utter lack of realism. Throttle to 40, let it stabilize, and take off speed. Rotate, positive rate, gear up.
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta departure on 125.65. Going to 125.65 Cessna 649er.
Autopilot on.
Atlanta departure Cessna November 75, 649er is at 2,500 feet, climbing 14,000 feet. Cessna November 75, 649er Atlanta departure, continue to SUTBL as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
And there we go. Fully autopilot.
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 135.0. Going to 135.0 Cessna 649er.
Gears up.
Atlanta Center Cessna November 75, 649er is climbing through 6,800 feet for 14,000 feet.
Climbing speed.
Cessna November 75, 649er Atlanta Center continues to SUTBL as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
And there goes Atlanta. So, like I said, this is definitely not a long flight. I'd say it was 45 minutes, but as long as I'm here, I'm just going to be sitting for a little bit. I think I might try to see if I can figure out how to enter enter a localizer frequency. tune button on the FMC.
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 128.0. 128.0 Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center, Cessna November 75, 649er, 13,800 feet.
Cessna November 75649er, Atlanta Center, continue to golf as planned. Altimeter 29er.9er 2. Cessna 649er, climb and maintain flight level 270, keep speed below 250 knots.
Climb and maintain flight level 270, keep speed below 250 knots, Cessna 649er.
Okay, heading toward 270 and keeping my speed a little bit lower. Yeah, seems like there might still be a glitch here, so I'm dialed into 270. I hit FLC mode and nothing happens, so I have to use vertical speed mode. Just go to 2,000 feet per minute. Just manage the throttle a little bit. So I am so according to this website, I can use the tune button in the FMC to do an ILS approach. Whoa. Just doing some weird stuff. Yikes, autopilot. My airspeed indicator is off. I still can't figure this warning out. That's one of those that I wish that would go away, because I just don't know what the deal is. If it's cold enough for pitot heat, I probably need the engine ice or engine heat as well. Man, this autopilot path is being pretty crazy right now. I'm afraid to change my nav mode. Stand by on active frequencies. So basically, this is my, I'm assuming this is my active and this is my standby. So what I want to do is I want to get the ILS frequency for the runway that I'm coming to, enter it over here, and then switch them out when I'm ready. I think. Looks like unfortunately the PFD scrolling is still a little weird. head toward Mickles right now. And once I get to AG, I'm turning toward runway 35. Yeah, I'm nervous to try anything. So I'm looking at this here, and I think this magenta line here is actually representing, you know, when you move the throttle, that magenta line kind of comes out, and I think it represents the target you're going to get to by holding that throttle. Or it's kind of like it's representing like the rate of change of speed or something like that. So in other words, if it's right here, I think that means you're going to hold steady and not change speed at all.
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 127.5.
127.5, Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center Cessna November 75 649er is climbing through flight level 230 for flight level 270. Cessna November 75 649er Atlanta Center, continue to MCKLS as planned.
Got a lot of people flying around Atlanta. Makes sense. A lot of people live around Atlanta.
American 709er, you are 36 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 left approach via Geary transition. Cleared to Geary.
So I think
Descend and
regardless,
maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 left approach via Geary transition. Cleared to Geary American 709er. Cessna 649er climb and maintain flight level 390. Climb and maintain flight level 390 Cessna 649er.
I'll go to 390, but I'm not going to go any higher than that. 'Cause I don't want to suffocate. Now FLC is working fine. I don't understand what the deal was there. So what I was going to say was, I think regardless, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to have to figure out what the localizer frequency for runway 35 is. And to do that, I'm just going to sky vector. Remember the name of that website. So sky vector coming down, let's This map is kind of hard to read. Just do this. Augusta. ILS or LOC, runway 35. So we can use this. And the localizer is 110.5, it appears. I think that's how you read these.
Atlanta Center Southern Air Tree 671 is at flight level tree 70 descending 10,000 feet. Southern Air Tree 671 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
Atlanta Center Delta 1529er is out of flight level 390 for 10,000 feet.
I'm pretty sure.
1529er Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh, and actually, look, it's right here already. 110.5 under nav 1. I don't know how to use VOR yet. That's something I still need to learn how to do. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on here because it just doesn't give me. Hold on. Maybe the issue is that when I'm programming my flight plan, I'm not selecting an ILS approach.
Cessna 649er, you are 65 miles west. Descend and maintain flight level 310. Expect ILS runway 35 approach via Alpha Golf transition. Clear to Alpha Golf. Cessna 649er descend and maintain flight level 250. Cessna 649er descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Wow. Headed down quick.
Cessna 649er descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Jeez, why didn't you say so?
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 35 approach via Alpha Golf transition clear to Alpha Golf Cessna 649er. UPS 1329er contact Atlanta Center on 124.45. Cessna 649er descend and maintain 2,000 feet.
2,000 feet? Are you out of your mind?
Descend and maintain 2,000 feet Cessna 649er. Delta 1384 contact Atlanta Center on 124.45.
Alright, I'm listening to the controller.
124.45 for UPS 1329er.
for Delta 1384.
I think my fuel burn definitely seems to be quite a bit slower. So they may have actually fixed that one issue. Okay, I was trying to read something here. this is going to be a great resource right here.
Cessna 649er, contact Atlanta Center on 128.1. 128.1 for Cessna 649er. Atlanta Center Cessna November 75 649er is out of flight level 245 for 2,000 feet.
Cessna November 75 649er Atlanta Center, continue to Alpha Golf as planned.
So this says to capture an ILS, which I assume means capture the ILS frequency. You need to change from FMS1 to VOR/LOC. So I guess maybe VOR and LOC are interchangeable. I've always been switching it to LOC 1. So I guess I'm not sure. I thought VOR was a separate thing, but maybe not. It sounds like I actually need to be below the glide slope in order for it to capture the approach mode, which may have been an issue before. I was having issues and I wasn't sure why it wasn't connecting, so maybe I was just above it. Do not press the ALT button. I never used that. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna be okay with VOR or whatever. But there's no frequency in there. That's what I'm confused about.
Atlanta Center Delta 2172 is out of flight level 380 for 10,000 feet. Delta 2172 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
This is a pretty nice little guide here. Actually, I'm gonna save that. But it didn't really answer my question though, because I'm still not sure how to get it to grab my localizer frequency. So it's 110.5. But I feel like something needs to say nav1 up there. SRC. It's taking me forever to get down to that 2,000. Maybe I'll cut the throttle entirely and just coast. Increase the vertical speed to 4,000 maybe.
Cessna 649er, contact approach on 119.15.
119.15 for Cessna 649er. Approach Cessna November 75 649er is out of 12,300 feet for 2,000 feet.
Cessna November 75649er approach. Continue to Alpha Golf as planned. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2.
Well, there's got to be something wrong here because my constraint is 190 feet. So that's underground, I think, at this area of the country. So, yeah, something's wrong with the elevation directive. 2,000 is super low for this this far out. I do have the runway or the airport in sight through the clouds there, so I'm going to be coming over it. And then, I guess, looping around. I'm not convinced this weird approach pattern is even going to work, but I guess we'll find out. I'm just not sure what to do about this whole thing here. I mean, I'll try it. I'll try switching to. Oh my gosh! Now there's a Loc 1. 110.5. Alright, clearly I have a fundamental misunderstanding about how this system works, because I guess Loc 1 only comes up when it can sense the localizer, maybe? I'm not sure, but anyway, it's there, so hopefully I can just continue along this flight plan, do my little loop around the airport, get back lined up with the runway, and then switch to Loc 1, and that'll get me on the right glide slope. I'm at 4,000 feet, and I am incredibly low already, so I am feeling nervous. It's like I'm starting to level off. 2,000 is still ridiculously too low. Clearly there's a problem, but I am, you know, I am bound to listen to the controller in this scenario, as long as it's safe for my passengers. Airport's right up here, it looks like. So I'll be turning soon and just circling over down this way and back around. Airspeed is coming down now that I'm close to 2,000, so I'm going to give it half throttle. Yep, right over the airport here. I honestly can hardly imagine an approach that would be more inconvenient for traffic in the area. Because I'm basically crossing both ends of the runway. Really low to the ground for some reason. Looks like I'm entering this turn nicely. This is going to be a great little view here of Augusta. I'll be landing on this runway, this direction. And that is it. This is right where my dad picked me up, right there. It's actually a very nice little airport there.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
And that's what you would probably expect for an airport that houses, or not houses, but hosts the PGA Tour golfers who fly in on all of their private jets to attend Augusta Internet, or is that what it's called? Augusta National, maybe? Very, whatever, very famous PGA golf tournament. And it looks like, at least so far, my flight plan is still locked in and working, so I am just kind of cruising along. Wow, is that a half bank? Looks really steep. Yeah, half bank is on. And my yaw damper's been off, but now it's on. 2,000 feet is holding. Still think it's ridiculously low. And once I... What is that? I don't know what that warning was. I have no idea what that warning was.
649er, you are 7 miles south of Augusta. Contact Augusta Tower on 118.7 when inbound.
Tower on 118.7 Cessna 649er. Augusta Tower Cessna November 75 649er, 8 miles south inbound ILS runway 35 approach.
Cessna November 75 649er, Augusta Tower. Cleared ILS runway 35 approach. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er, 2 wind 277 at 8.
Cleared ILS runway 35 approach Cessna 649er.
I'm so low to the ground. This is just such a joke. Oh well. I don't think I'll hit it. This feels like some kind of clandestine military operation. Fly in fast and low. Once I get onto my final here, I'm going to deploy gear and flaps, probably pretty much in rapid succession, both levels of flaps. While I'm in this turn, I will take a moment and double check my lights. Landing lights are on, that's good. Coming around here, there's the airport. Some clouds, but they actually put me in below them. Maybe that's why I'm so low? That's crazy, that couldn't be. Throttle down a little bit so I'm not so hot. And it looks like I'm intercepting right on 2,000 feet, so that's perfect. Let's see how this looks as I come around. Yeah, not bad. Throttle down a little more. Go ahead and get my gear coming down. Wait until it's locked in and then hit flaps. There's flaps. We'll go ahead and switch to Loc 1. And I'm coming up quick, so I'm going to hit approach mode. I am below glide slope, which is good because then I will actually intersect it as I keep going. Hit another notch of flaps. Speed is coming down nicely. And my plane is turning to the right, I hope. Yep, lining up with the runway nicely. Ooh, underspeed. Hit the throttle. Give it some power to climb actually up to my glide slope. So I'm looking for it right now. That magenta bug is coming down, which is what I want. Landing speed, I believe, is around 110, so I'm pretty much good there. There's a way to look at your look at your landing speed, but I don't remember how to do that. I'll have to figure that out one of these days. And I am right on the bugs, so the glide slope is working. I have my GS indication right there, which means all is well. My gear is down and locked. Flaps are deployed.
Cleared to land runway 35.
There's my landing
Wind
clearance.
277 at 8.
So I'm good. I will disconnect the autopilot when
Clear
I'm
to land
above the
runway
rabbit.
35 Cessna 649er.
It's not a super long runway, but there's that warning again. I don't know what that warning is, to be honest. I really don't know what that is. Nothing flashes and my warning lights don't come on, so it's... I don't know. I don't know what it is. A little bit fast. Decreasing throttle. Bugs are still right where they should be. Cat's being crazy behind me. It's not a super long runway, so I don't want to hang out in the air for too long. Giving it a little power there. I'm just getting it a little too slow. Can't stay on glide slope. And I am above the rabbit, so I will disengage and take it in manual. Reduce the throttle. Give it a little flare. And a nice touchdown. No need to rush off the runway here. I will get this taxiway though.
Cessna 649er, turn next taxiway. Cessna 649er, contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er for Cessna 649er.
Come to a stop here. Bring my flaps up, don't need those anymore. Turn landing lights off, taxi lights on, don't need my strobe anymore. And I'll help the co-pilot tune the ground. And I don't have an option to get a taxi to gate clearance, so I'll just go ahead and go for it. I assume the ribbon is correct. Following a little truck in here, I guess. Don't stop there. I gotta go. Alright, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm going. What, is he gonna stop right there too? Alright, I'm getting past these guys. I don't know what the heck goes. I don't know what the deal with the ground traffic in this game on. It is crazy sometimes. There's my ground crew. Got the light up batons there. Very helpful. Okay, there we go. Parking brake is set. And I am shutting down.
Oral warning, okay.
So that's the flight. I'm gonna go ahead and finish shutting down, and I just wanted to go ahead and just get into the drone camera real quick just to kind of check out this airport. So yeah, basically when I came in, I actually parked at, there's a couple gates around here, and there's kind of this little passageway through here that kind of has these little gardens on either side. It's very aesthetically nice. Baggage claim is down here. And yeah, right around here. This is where I waited for my dad. He came through and we went on our way. That is pretty much the layout of the airport as I remember it. These trees through here are actually a really nice place to drive. And we took a right and went up that way, and yeah, out to my parents' house out there. So you know, I wasn't originally going to do this, but the more I think about it, I think it'd be really fun to actually fly out to the area where my parents live and just kind of look at the area. I'm not exactly going to focus in on their house on a stream, but you know, I can get a glimpse of their neighborhood, and I know there's a big dam out there that I've been to. That would be kind of cool to see, as well as the village of McCormick, which is the nearest, you know, main village, and I could poke around there, just see how the photogrammetry rendered things. There's an old grist mill there that we visited, and yeah, a couple other places that I could check out. As long as I'm going here, and as long as there is a special event going on, I think I'll go ahead and back out to the main menu and just really quickly fly that Charles de Gaulle in snow approach. or landing challenge, I guess I should call it. I'm assuming this is here just to kind of showcase the new snow weather effects that they've added in. And that does look pretty good, to be honest. I mean, that's beautiful right there. Once I finish my stream here, I'm going to raid you guys to a channel, EJSA. I've been watching him on and off lately, and yeah, kind of his focus is on more kind of STEM educational type games. And I'm a nerd. I like pretty much all science and technology type stuff, up to and including, obviously, flight. And yeah, so I'm gonna raid to him. I don't really know how raiding works or what the etiquette is or anything like that, so I'm just gonna do it. And I guess if he gets offended, he gets offended. Okay, I am coming up to the runway real quick. My flaps are down, my gear is down. I have a warning siren going, not sure what it means. I'm gonna assume that was my overspeed. And because I am doing a landing challenge, I'm actually gonna need to do this from the rear view. It's very windy, actually. It's incredibly windy. Underspeed. Not much good about this approach, that's for sure. I'm very out of touch with the Airbus, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably incredibly obvious.
60, 50. 40, 30, 20, retard, 5.
Okay, that was rough. I can definitely do better than that. I'm not even sure if I had my auto brake on. I don't think I had my spoilers set either. So I gotta watch my speed for sure. I was getting under speed and then it was very sluggish and I had to slam the throttle and that was just a train wreck. Snow was pretty though, especially right around the airport with the lights. That was very, very nice looking. There are still things about the camera that I have not figured out yet. Why the heck isn't it letting me zoom in? Auto brake is on max. Spoilers are armed, flaps are down, gears in place. Speed is good. Alignment is bad. This wind is brutal, I'm telling you. Oops, a bit early.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, drive.
I didn't even reach the touchdown point. Yeah, that's a better score at least. I still think I can do better, honestly. This is the best approach yet, I would say.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
That was a decent approach, but a totally botched landing. So, yeah, I think with that I'm going to call it a night. So, yeah, I don't know, I don't know how raiding works, but I'm gonna raid my channel into EJSAs, and yeah, hopefully maybe you know, maybe he could raid me back sometime with his hundreds of viewers. That would be great. But I won't expect anything. Alright. If you watched, I hope you enjoyed, and whether or not you enjoyed, I hope you have a great evening.